are, and welcome to the best episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. Not because this is objectively the best. I would say our best episode will and always be the Purple Package. Go look that up if you haven't heard it yet. But it's because we're going to talk about our best of 2024, all the things we liked and that we recommend. We're going to just kind of wrap everything up. And then make the ultimate recommendations episode of 2024. And maybe we'll even talk a little bit about what we're excited for 2025, but we might save that for another episode, depending on how long all of this takes. But before that, Lily and Becky are in person. They're together, still recovering from Becky's birthday party. And
tired.
But does anyone have anything to report?
I feel like the biggest anxiety I live with right now with Lily visiting is the fear of waking her in the morning. And
just so you know, I'm afraid to wake her at my house. I was tiptoeing around and I didn't even realize she wasn't in my house.
It's so stressful and trying to keep all these tiny kids quiet.
You did a great job.
And the more quiet you try to, the more quiet you try to keep them, the more like body slams they have to do.
I wouldn't do it.
It's so stressful. But I just want her to be happy and healthy, and I know that starts with a good 10 to 12 every night.
Yeah. Insert that meme of the
but also
being woken up.
Can you go to bed earlier? Because that would help also.
Oh no, because she does not want to miss the fun. If you start to go to bed, she gets nervous.
I was in bed.
Please don't go to bed. Please don't go to bed.
9:50. I was in bed.
At the same time last night.
Yeah, because you knocked on my door. Because you knocked on my door and needed a heating pad.
You were asleep.
I was in the doze mode. I was like dozing.
Are you two? You're not sleeping in the same room though.
Why would we sleep in the same room?
Unfortunately,
we should.
I love a snuggle.
Because I know Lily wants to. Because when you were little,
sleep better.
When you were little, even though you had different beds, who made who sleep in their bed? Lily made Becky sleep in her bed.
Yeah, for like a year.
Yeah. Okay.
When we were little. Yeah.
That's very cute.
It is.
Oh.
Okay. I'm very ready for this episode.
All right. So favorites.
You want me? Can I go first?
Can you just Lily? Can you just sit near the microphone and not yell? Okay, there you go.
I feel like we should let Becky shine because she wrote.
I actually prepared.
Okay, you're right. We have to give her incentive to do this.
And I just want to say that, there are some years when we get to the end of the year and it's like, what was your best of? I'm sitting there going, ugh, did I even see anything? What was this year? Whereas this time, there were so many.
Becky had a good 2024.
I had a great 2024. I'm keeping my list, however, concise. So this is not an expanded list. This is sort of a very highly curated list of truly what were my favorites or what I thought were the best. So if you're searching for what to watch, this is not going to be, a giant Netflix platter of 500 options. I'm really boiling it down for you. Although if you haven't seen the stuff I'm going to bring up, I'm a little embarrassed for you at this point because where are you? None of this stuff that are like, one is a hidden gem, but like other than that. Okay, I'm gonna obviously. So
wait, let's start. We're gonna do this by categories, though. It has to be organized.
Oh, okay. I sort of categorize mine, but yeah.
Okay, but let's just start with TV shows. This can be TV shows you discovered this year or TV shows that are new.
My two favorite shows. I'm gonna do Slow Horses season 4 because yes, I love that show, but I really feel like season 4 brought it. Season 4 to me was as good as season 1. It really. Season 4, season 3, whatever in the new season 1.
I think it's 4.
Season 4. I thought it was fantastic and it had a great setup for season 5 that we know is coming, and it really delivered on the action and all the characters they brought along to really great places. So it was season 4, and then obviously The Bear season 3. That I loved getting that. It
was really good. I think there were so many things I loved. It didn't break my top, however many this year. I loved it.
I'm just going to give those two.
Okay, for TV. What about you, Lily?
It goes without saying, Shy. The best show I've seen this year and probably ever is Drops of God. I have nothing else to say.
Okay, she's adding Drops of God to the list.
I mean, that was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. And I'm enjoying very much Shrinking season 3.
I'm not motivated to watch that yet.
I'm enjoying it.
It's had some real.
Jessica Williams is the best part.
It's had some real ups and downs in terms of like fromage-alicious this season.
But like, I don't find this was Drops of God was so good that I don't honestly, and shout out to Jill Kargman, obviously, who recommended that, but I don't, and The Bear, but like name me another show that rivals even in the realm of that television.
I actually think for me, one of my favorite parts of watching Shrinking right now, and I love the characters, but is the costumes. I think this costume designer, the way she dresses the characters, or the wardrobe. The wardrobe is so good.
Huh.
Take a lot of inspiration.
I will say, is TV coming back to Earth? Like, are we at a point where, right, there was this point where it was like Game of Thrones and Sons of Anarchy and like all of these epic Succession, like mind-bending shows. Are we at a point where there's like a couple of good shows and maybe just the other shows are like
good movies?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm very, very excited for Severance season 2, January 17th on Apple.
Oh yeah. That's a show that's like cut above the average.
That's a looking forward thing, and I feel like that elevates television, but that's one show. Like this year, I saw Fallout, but that's not from this year, and I loved it. It was fun, but it's not the best show.
That's this year.
In 2024, I feel like it might be 20. I was late.
Which was the year we went to the...
Well, it was too right.
Yeah, it was the year before.
When did we go to the snow? Wasn't the South by Southwest exhibit was this year where they pretended to pull our teeth out?
So Fallout was fun and it was cute and I enjoyed it, but it's not in that...
You know what else we have to look forward to? You know what's coming very soon?
No, we're not at that part of the show. You're killing me.
So you know...
And like it's an order.
So, yeah, like Shai, I don't know if you have anything hidden up your sleeve, but it's not a huge TV show year for me.
So, for me, in terms of prestige shows, Japan really bringing it this year.
All right, Shogun.
With Shogun, Sanctuary, and Drops of God, which is
a sentence you never thought you'd hear. Japan really bringing it with the TV shows. I think, there's an amazing cinematic tradition in Japan. No, I know, but like for television shows that we watch like on the reg, it's not what.
Oh yeah, I mean, and also Tokyo Vice, which is another great show out of Japan.
But I don't think it was from this year.
I think it's from this year.
No, the last season is 2024.
Ah, okay. Well, so I'm enjoying.
It only had 2 seasons.
I'm on season 2 right now.
Okay, me too.
That's a great show. I highly.
So for me in general, and then I'll add that Monarch, which is a cool show. It wasn't necessarily my favorite show, but it's a cool show.
No,
also, it's part of the MonsterVerse. It's on Apple Plus, but it has Anna Sawai, and it's also half in Japanese. So a really, 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 really good show. And in general, yeah, I guess it was a big year for Japan. In terms of me and the shows that I'm Monarch Legacy of Monsters. And that's the one that has Wyatt and Kurt Russell playing each other.
Yeah, but I couldn't get through that first episode.
Okay, that's fine. I can see why.
I tried.
I don't. That's not on my recommendation list. And then there's been a lot of my kids have really transitioned to this stage where we watch a lot of shows together. So I want to shout out to our big family shows, the ones that I can tolerate, because some of the shows they won't stop watching over and over again. But Elsbeth, which is a spinoff of The Good Wife and The Good Fight with Carrie Preston, is like the new Columbo. It is so funny and quirky, and they have the best guest stars on it. So there's we just watched one with Pamela Adlon, and there was Retta. Very, very, very good. High Potential, another female-driven mystery show with Caitlin Olsen, is a lot of fun. Watch that a lot with the kids. And then I just want to shout out I love that Wendy McClendon-Covey is on television again with Josh Lawson, no less. And that's St. Denis Medical, which is like a show I hope people will see because I worry that they might not be watching it because it's hard to remember the name of the show. Like, could you remember that? St. Denis Medical? Like,
there's a lot.
St. Denis, St. Denis. Is it St. Denis, like in Montreal?
In Montreal, they're definitely calling it St. Denis.
St. Denis. Yeah. Medical. L'Hôpital St. Denis.
It's probably a real place.
So those are my big shows. Okay, now let's talk movies. This was a great year for movies. So many cool, fun things. And it was like a long year of movies. Like I went back into everything I've seen just of the new movies I've seen. And anyway, so it was pretty amazing. So, Becky, do you want to start on the movie front? I assume it's just all Dune.
Obviously, it's Dune 2.
Okay.
So it's obvious.
Which was a cool movie. I mean, I thank you very much. Dune is your I told you show to me because I never would have had the energy to watch Dune in my life.
I'd go to the theaters tonight to rewatch it
I
because
gotta watch it with both of you.
that is such a big screen movie. That is such a big screen.
When did we see that? February
March? I think it was March.
No, I was here. I was here in February for work. So February 2024. Yeah, I guess. And I got to see that with both of you in the theater, and I'm still shaking because the seats were vibrating so much. Dolby theater. I was like, "Is this on
I
purpose?"
go again tonight. Like that end fight scene. Oh, movie is so gorgeous. So Dune 2, obviously. I'm kind of going I'm going in chronological order of the year.
Okay.
The chronological order of the year, I would say Dune 2, followed by Roadhouse.
That's one of my favorites. And that was like one of the ones where seeing the premiere will forever influence how much I
exactly.
love it. But I love that movie. Watch it over and over.
I love it. So that for me, for sure. There's another movie that we saw at South by that was amazing, but I can't put it on my favorite list because if I'm so scared that I'm in tears.
Oddity?
I don't think
Oddity's on my favorite list.
Yeah, I know. So I'm letting that one be on your favorite list. It's not on mine because I think like once it passes the threshold of like I want to throw up, I'm so scared. It's not really like a favorite. From that, I'm going to go into my movie of the summer, which was Hitman. I think I saw it 7 times.
I already forgot that I saw that movie.
I saw it like 4 times all the way through and then like little spatterings here and there. It was like my favorite movie to fall asleep to or watch on a plane. That was my movie of the summer. And when we came back after the summer, it was so exciting to see Wild Robot. I actually went to go see that twice with my kids in theaters because we loved it so much. That's really like probably like that's up there with Dune too as like a true favorite of the year.
Do you agree with my pitch that in general this was a highly competitive, great year?
Yeah, it was a fantastic year for movies. Well, for animated movies, Wild Robot to me is a cut above all the others. I don't feel like it's like Wild Robot and then everything else is kind of in the next tier. And then I'm actually going to put in my movie honorable mentions, movies that came out in December or the end of December 2023. So like they might have not been captured in my favorites of 23 because, you know, because I like might have missed it because of the release date.
Okay.
That would have been Iron Claw. And
I saw it in the theater the moment it came out.
I saw it in the theater the moment it came out, but it was still like mid-end of December 23. And then a movie that was technically released on Amazon in 23, but I saw it in 24, which feels very reasonable, which is Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls is really up there as a favorite movie that I'm counting as a 2024 movie because, you know, probably didn't, I feel like
that's a great movie.
Got its traction in 24 and that you can see on Prime.
I'll say this, the ones I pack in at the end of the year, Saltburn, Poor Things, and Anatomy of a Fall, 2023 can keep all of those. They're they're not objectively bad. These are objectively excellent.
Not movies.
But these are not movies that I enjoyed a minute of.
I gagged when you said Saltburn.
Yeah. Ooh. Lily. That's great. That's a great list, Beck. Lily, what about you?
I agree with so much of the list, of course, of Becky's. My 8-year-old read Wild Robot and for the first time was disappointed that a movie wasn't as good as the book. And it was like watching that. Shai, you have to, when you read books, and then you see
I
the movie.
argue that the movie is
Well, you can argue
funnier
with him when
and
he
has
gets
more
here. He's
heart
8.
and
No.
not more heart. Nothing has more heart, but it's
Wait,
definitely
but
like
now-
higher stakes and funnier. And
Now that I read
is-
screenplays, though, it's set up perfectly for me because the movie ideally is better. You know,
than the screenplay. Well, in general in life, books are usually better than the movie, and he strongly felt that as he was watching, like characters
I
getting.
think all the kids felt that.
the composite characters
composite
freak them out.
characters,
This is the first time I've heard 6-year-olds being like, "I didn't really like the way they merged those characters."
Yeah. So for him that was sad, but I love the movie. I love the book and I love the movie. I sobbed at the end of that movie. But for me, I think probably one of the better movies I've seen this year was Transformers 1,
Yeah, that
for
movie's
sure.
awesome.
which I've now seen twice, once in Spanish and once in English. It's fantastic in both. And
Malotron.
it really
Do they call him Malotron?
because he's bad.
I don't know. I'm asking. Should I call
No,
them
Molatron. Molatron.
Molatron is
Badassatron.
Badassatron.
I said that a lot in my house after.
Yeah, so that was great. And
And every boy, every 6-year-old boy that has seen that movie, all they want to show me is the part where where the guy shows how his middle finger's transforming, which is like, my hand can transform. I want to see which finger. It's like little kids running up to me saying that.
That was really funny. So I loved that movie. Substance was, like I talked about this last time, Substance was very cool. I think it's one of the cooler movies I've seen this year. It was extremely gross. I don't need to see it again, but I do recommend. Last time I watched, I had like 4 movie recs, but I just saw on the plane on the way here Between the Temples, and I loved it. And I thought it was just a beautiful story, very authentically Jewish, funny, but also very weird in an uncomfortable way. And I think that if a movie can pull that off, then that's, it's an achievement. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else. I probably do. I can never remember what I've seen.
Those are
Better
all-
job like Shy, like letterboxing everything and have everything.
Oh my God,
organized.
I have everything organized. Are you
I
kidding?
can't organize my groceries.
I have it organized by
organizing everything.
order. I have it organized by the order in which I entered it into my letterboxed, or I can do it chronologically. Very organized. So, and then I'm going to ask you about some afterwards things that happened that
You
maybe
have
none
time
of us
for when you're not in
mentioned.
charge of the laundry at your house.
What'd you say?
And this is what you have time for when you're not in charge of the laundry at your house.
Hey, and
I always say to my
the
husband,
world
"What
is
did-
better.
Did you is it like, what is it like to live and like your clothes just get like
describe it to
folded?
me. Describe the feeling of sleeping in. What does it feel like?
No, or like you wake up and your clothes are just like
I don't
they
sleep in at
magically
my
appear
house.
after being dirty.
The house fairies.
We're not comparing these apples as to the 2 oranges you two are married
His wife
to,
likes
all right?
that stuff.
Anyways, continue.
So I get up early, drive kids places.
Continue.
Okay, so me, many of the ones you mentioned, Oddity is definitely the best scary movie I've seen in a long time. So beautiful and brilliant. There were a bunch of other South by movies. Audrey, which I just read online, is going to come out. I think it's going to come out on Amazon. I don't know if that means Amazon in Australia or here, but Audrey starring Jackie Van
That was
Beek
amazing.
is one of the smartest, funniest dark comedies I've seen in a long time. And
But
we interviewed them on the show. And
It's too bad that like you end up seeing all these movies and it's hard to share with everyone because you don't know where they're going to end up.
well, I like to talk about it in the time of the festival, and then when it comes back, I can be like, "Oh, remember that one?" But I think it looks like it was just announced that it's coming out tomorrow on. Again, this could be in Australia. Also, it could be that it's coming out today, yesterday, because of the way the time zone works. I have no idea. But Audrey,
It's like
and then with that, We Were Dangerous, which I've now seen twice. Once in the theater and once during the festival. And that's another one I hope gets American distribution. It's a beautiful movie from New Zealand. And then I had some great movie watching experiences with different people. So I'm going to just list some of them. One of them was watching Frankie Frico with Lily in the hotel room in like me, her, and Jose having to share a bed because there was no other room in the hotel room because it was tiny. Frankie Frico, shout out to Connor Sweeney for doing our show. Then watching Boy Kills World with Lily was
that movie was awesome. That's from this year.
Yeah, because we watched that this
movie.
summer, Shy. You're right.
We
That's
watched
one of
it
the better
this
movies
summer.
I've seen
I
this
feel like
year.
of the 40 hours I spent on planes, that was the best thing I watched for sure.
Fantastic.
That movie's fantastic and so fun, so dark and funny and violent, and just the hilarious notion that the movie is narrated by the guy from Bob's Burgers because the kid in it only remembers it as a voice from a video game is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Okay, so Boy Kills World. Then The Fall Guy, watching with my kids. The fact that my kids love that movie so much.
I liked it a lot.
That they're that's like their, like, remember how we'd watch Bird on a Wire, or we'd watch, what are some of the other action?
I don't think it was appropriate for kids.
Who's Harry Crumb?
Who's Harry Crumb? Whatever. For them, it's like their action romantic comedy. They watch it over and over.
Hitman's closer to Who's Harry Crumb with all the disguises, but get into it.
Hitman is, I think my kids watched it. They were not as into it. Fall Guy's amazing. I watched another movie no one can see from New Zealand, Head South. But another big watch experience was Inside Out 2. I saw with my sister-in-law, Mare. I think it's maybe the only time in 20 years of knowing each other we have seen a movie together, let alone sat next to each other at a movie together with our teenage daughters experiencing Inside Out. And that was a real bonding moment, not just for us, but for everybody. And that movie was fantastic. And then watching Furiosa with Becky, that was so much fun.
Was that this year?
Becky was like,
I loved it.
Becky was like
Furiosa.
catatonic, but also was into it. It was really fun.
Super into it. No, Furiosa.
Nope.
Yeah. I would, of everything you said, Furiosa is one I would add to my list.
And Deadpool Wolverine, I again saw multiple times in the theater with my kids. And it was the year I introduced my kids to the Deadpool movies.
Too much Deadpool. Too much Deadpool in that movie.
Too much Deadpool.
There are a lot of Deadpools in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about old stuff we watched, right? Because we watched stuff before December of 2023, but I realized, I've sort of been depressed that I'm not watching enough movies and TV shows anymore. But then I look at
You're not?
my log of what I watched this year, and I've watched a lot of stuff.
Falling asleep in front of more stuff if you think you're not watching it.
No, I've been
You're not
sitting
watching enough? I'm definitely not watching enough.
So, but then I looked at the list of, this is just the list that I'm noting of movies, older movies that I saw this year. One of them is I went on like a Gyllenhaal hunt, and among the movies I saw was Nightcrawler, which was amazing.
Right, because Shy was like, you know what, guy's crazy. Jake Gyllenhaal? He's a really good actor.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
This is like one of the things Vlad and I have. If we're like, oh, we're not sure what to watch, we'll just put up like a random Gyllenhaal movie we've never seen because we know no matter no matter what the movie's like, he's gonna deliver. So you're at minimum getting a crazy good performance, and it makes it watchable.
So Nightcrawler was a big one, and then I went deep into the 70s and early 80s. I'm just going to rattle these off: Thief with James Caan, The Conversation with Gene Hackman, The French Connection 1 and 2.
It's supposed to be the best of 2024, not everything
you've seen.
No, this is not everything I've seen. This is like just the movies that I loved. The Boys from Brazil, which I watched with Becky, which was another great duo movie watching experience. Videodrome, a Cronenberg, the 1978 Body Snatchers. That is going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Holds up, I guess.
Oh my God, it does. So anyways, a really good year for me catching up on old movies, particularly a period that when I was younger, I didn't have the patience to watch those movies. And now I really, really love digging into that older stuff. Now, what about you all? Did you have anything?
I don't have time to watch stuff.
You don't have time?
I don't have time,
Didn't we
but
just do ours?
But I forgot to mention a show that was like had a big moment this year that I don't think Becky liked it, but every other woman I know really loved it. And it's like one of the few times the show is better than the movie and is better than the book. And that's One Day. The show on Netflix.
Oh, no. I liked it. I think the ending really did the female lead dirty, and it was so lazy. But
This is the one with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell?
No, just never mind. Shy. You either know it or you don't. But like it got
I
so
loved
many,
it.
like I got texts from so many
Loved it, but I thought
Stein and Allie and Marion
that was
and
a real sort of, we're going to make you cry for the sake of crying. It wasn't earned at all. It was
Well,
really predatory crying.
I thought it was earned because of
Predatory cry.
I thought it was earned, but I will say that it was much. That show was so much better than the movie, which is not good, and so much better than the book. I found so I really enjoyed it, and I thought that this show did something interesting where they posit an alternative ending at the ending of the show that it like is sort of like a
Like
sliding
the ending of
doors thing.
Roseanne, it was all a dream?
No, but maybe like a sliding doors. They suggest that like it could end another way, maybe not this like a horribly
Do
sad.
you think
thing
they
that
just filmed the two endings and the people were like,
No, they
This
just
is too
kind of
sad.
like suggest that like what would have happened if something.
I feel
was
like there was a Becky in the room who made a big stink about how dumb the ending is. And they're like, fine, we'll put in like a little glimmer.
Yeah, exactly. And I really appreciate.
And I don't have a problem with sad endings, but it just was not.
Anyways, I just thought that the acting was great, and that was like a big moment and on TV this year, and I forgot to mention that. Old movies, I don't have time to watch new movies, so I don't know what old movies I'm watching.
I showed my kids Paris When It Sizzles, which is really one of my all-time favorites, and that was really fun.
there you go.
I know that
Made my kids watch Gremlins 1 and 2. That was so much fun.
my 8-year-old Ari, he
That's your
watched
tape, but it was-
he watched Beetlejuice and Gremlins this week because his 4-year-old brother's not home, so he got to watch both of those.
I didn't get to be around for either of those, huh?
I'm sure he'll be happy to rewatch.
What did he think of Beetlejuice?
He loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, because it's amazing. What do you think of? He watched the first Gremlin.
The first Gremlins, yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe
that
we can watch
movie's
Gremlins 2 together because those,
that-
I can't watch around the little one. So he like had a big kid week. I watched Elf with my kids, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Of it. Did they think
Ari
it was boring?
Ari thought it was very funny. Asher didn't understand what the hell was happening, but he thought it was really funny. He was like, "Mommy, let's just watch something that's joyful where nobody dies." Because Becky told us to watch Call of the Wild.
Oh, that was a huge hit.
Wait,
It's a
which
huge
one's
hit.
Call of the Wild? The one with Harrison Ford talking
about
to
like a
dog?
Yukon dog. It's
But like someone's dying at the end, and it made him really sad. So he's like, "Let's just watch something joyful where nobody dies." And I was like, "Elf, I'm putting on Elf. This is the moment." So he thought it was pretty funny, and yeah, I don't know what else.
All right. Well, okay. What about any big kind of pop culture activities or social media? Like for me, one of the things I did this year that I loved is I went to the Alamo and I watched some old movies in the theater. I like rewatched movies that I knew but had the big screen experience because I never got that. So I saw The Last Starfighter, I saw The Raid Redemption on the big screen, and this is something I want to keep doing when they have these themed months or whatever. That's really special. And then in terms of social media, I feel like there are so many funny people we've been following. Particularly, I would say one of the big ones for me is Eitan Levine, also known as Eitan the goalie. He is hilarious, and he recently brokered a deal between Manischewitz and the BYU Ratzlaff, the Jewish quarterback. And anyways, the Jewish quarterback at BYU. And he's just a really funny, insightful comedian. And so those are two things I wanted to give a shout out. What about you guys?
Oh, I do have a couple of things. I really enjoy, I brought it up on the pod before, but a podcast I've really been enjoying is Family Trips because it's people talking about the family trips they went on. And I just, with our family history and how many funny shenanigans we have, it's really fun to hear about other people's. In particular, my favorite thing, though, is the listener episodes, not so much the celebrity interview episodes. Those are a bit hit and miss. There's a few amazing ones. But when other listeners call in and tell their family trip stories, that always brightens my day.
That's cool. Wow. I mean, I want to hear about people's family trips if funny stuff has happened.
No, but it's always fun. But it's funny
Okay.
stories. That's what it is. They're like these hilarious, and some really silly, funny things, So it's great.
For me, I enjoy so much Jill Kargman's account where she I don't know how she goes through all the best memes. of
That's
like
true.
the internet and then just reposts them for you.
She's the curator of the funniest stuff.
Of the funniest stuff on her stories. And I'm enjoying Anna Roisman's, who I love her account and her stories and her travel adventures and her impressions. Yeah, my sentence was.
Anyways, Anna Roisman is hilarious. I got to see her live. I recommend checking out Anna Roisman.
Her account is just like joyful and funny. And
Yeah. And her stuff with Andrea Lopez is where they do the, I don't know. They're now my Kardashians
podcast
because I don't watch the Kardashians. I just watch them do their bits and it cracks me up. Okay. Coming up at the end of this year, there's a couple more that are squeezing in right before the new year. I'm going to throw these three out to you. There's Nosferatu, the new Eggers movie. There's Baby Girl, which looks like it was made for Allie's algorithm. And then
doesn't that worry you that that's made for Allie's algorithm?
No, it's about a younger man as opposed to like.
I am a younger man to Allie.
Yes, but Allie's secret thing is like an older, gray-haired.
I don't know. She just likes the scandalous nature of it, like suburban scandal.
Well, also Nicole Kidman's so good. Like, bravo.
And then A Complete Unknown, the Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan movie that
I thought you're extremely not excited for that.
I'm not because he's not a good actor. I'm not because I think that trying to tell Bob Dylan's story, the same story again of him going electric again. I mean, this one maybe has some romance. Yeah, it's the same period. It's just not
do a different period. Is what you're saying?
I just think the I'm not there,
like the gospel period, or like when he played piano for a while.
When he was
when he's old and played piano all the time. That's right.
It's when Lily and I saw him playing his dumb piano.
I'm just saying he is such a cipher that I think I'm Not There, which is this impressionistic view.
A bit too much. How much he's a cipher.
No, that's why I'm saying trying to do.
I'm Not There was so cool. I thought that was such a cool way to.
I think that's the way to do him. This is like a regular biography. I'm like, why don't we just watch the No Direction Home? Also, all of the names of the movies are all A Complete Unknown and No Direction Home. No Direction Home is the documentary by Scorsese, and then A Complete Unknown. They're both from the same song. They're from the same verse, the lines, and they're covering the same period of career. I just think whatever. But I'm sure it'll be.
And then there's the Jeremy Allen White Springsteen biography.
Now that's interesting because
that's
people
cool.
haven't his life hasn't been done to death. But I will ask myself when I see it, do I want to see that or would I prefer Blinded by the Light, which is about the love of his music?
Well, I think it's two different,
I almost feel like with Springsteen, I'm sure it'll be great, but I do kind of agree that like one of the things that's so magical about Springsteen is the fandom and the extent to which his fans love him and are dedicated to him and how much his music really means to them. And I think like that's where a Blinded by the Light story is so special. But I'm sure Jeremy Allen White's going to be amazing and it'll be a great
tight buns.
Yeah, you better be working on those buns.
Yeah.
Keeping those iron claw buns.
Totally.
All right. Now,
I don't know when they saw him in Iron Claw and they were like, he can fit into some Springsteen jeans.
Of those three, Nosferatu is definitely the one I'm most excited for.
And who's in that? Who am I excited to see in that?
Well, Willem Dafoe is always in it because he's in all of Eggers.
He is Nosferatu.
Well, he's also played, and it's kind of weird. It's got Nicholas Hoult, who is in Renfield.
Ah, that's who it is.
Who is in Renfield. And then you have Willem Dafoe, who is in Shadow of the Vampire. Playing, so it's kind of strange, but I just love that guy's movies. They're so weird and awesome. And then just some movies that are coming up in the new year that maybe we haven't discussed.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. What? Sorry.
I'll say one more that I really, really want to see that came out, and like I'm not going to get to see it before 2025. I don't think is Anora.
Oh yeah,
that looks so good.
And then
Paddington in Peru is coming.
What? Paddington?
I feel like Lily sees all the Paddington movies.
No, I haven't, and I heard Paddington 2 is amazing.
No, I haven't seen either. I'm very excited for what's it called? White Lotus season 3 is coming.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm gonna get to shows. I don't know which. If I don't, we have permission to say the things that are coming in 2025.
No, now we are. We're on what's ahead.
What segment
There's a
are we on?
Wolfman movie coming with Julia
I
Garner.
don't care. I don't care about that.
Have you seen the preview for this movie, Better Man, which is Robbie Williams, but he's an ape?
No.
It's Robbie Williams.
Gonna win an Oscar. That's gonna win an Oscar. But
What?
I'm sure it's gonna win an Oscar. It's like gonna be one of those.
Not Robin Williams.
No. It's the weirdest thing. You know how they told Pharrell's biography as a Lego story?
Oh, piece by piece. Ari asks me that every day.
They're telling Robbie Williams's biography, but he's an ape. It's the strangest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't think anyone's going to want to see this. It's so off-putting.
Wow.
There's another. Piece by piece. My kids actually were super interested in seeing.
My kids want to see it. They keep asking me to see it. And I'm like, you won't. You don't understand the trailer, but we can try.
And
So Severance. Things that I'm really looking for is Severance season 2.
Absolutely,
that's going to be epic. That trailer is crazy.
Oh, I'm not even watching the trailer. I don't need to.
Oh my God, Shai, the trailer is so crazy.
But I'm just going to watch the show.
And in the trailer, at one point, there's like a young kid sitting at the desk with them inside the office, and they're like, how are you a child? And she's just like, her answer is, because I wasn't born that long ago. Like, it's so weird. But like, how did a child get into the office? Anyways, I don't know. Like, I only worry that they did too much for season 2 because the trailer looks wild. Like, there's so much content.
What about this movie, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare? Wendy Darling tries to rescue her brother Michael from the evil clutches of Peter Pan.
Coming out in 2025, Shai. Then on Netflix, the Kudrow-assance keeps going. Lisa Kudrow.
Can we talk about her on Time Bandits?
Yeah.
I watched that whole season and it was great. And then I found out it was canceled, but she was amazing on it.
She's in a new show called No Good Deed with Ray Romano on Netflix about a bunch of couples that are trying to buy a house in LA.
I think it's her house, but there's something mysterious.
Are they buying her house?
Yeah, and there's something mysterious.
There's like a secret about the house. So I have to watch that.
You know what? I've been rewatching Friends because of this Kudrow-assance.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, every time the funniest episodes are the ones that revolve around her, where she's the main storyline because she's the funniest.
Do you think those age the best? That's why? Because hers are never wrapped up in a will they, won't they romance. They're always just more quirky.
She's just the funniest. I mean, I
don't know if I can't say ever who's the funniest. I think they're all so funny, but she is a very special talent. And I'm so excited that she's still making stuff. And then, like Becky said, White Lotus season 3. I just watched the trailer this morning.
Oh, it's going to be better.
Walton, you had me at Walton Goggins. I would have watched no matter what, but I am a huge Walton Goggins fan.
Oh my God. What a perfect person to put in a
White Lotus show. So I'm so excited.
Okay, that's awesome. And Becky, is it Dune 3? Dune 3.5?
What?
No, I'm not watching the prequel show.
No. Oh, so that's a different thing than the movies, or is that owned by the same people?
I think it's all being done by like Warner Brothers Max, which is why it's on Max. But it's this like crazy prequel series about the Bene Gesserit and how I think it's about how they rose to such like prominence. But I'm not watching it because,
Okay, it doesn't seem necessary, Dune. But does the next Dune come out this year? And when does the next Avatar come out?
There's more Avatars?
There's
like 5 more.
5 more Avatars, though.
Yeah, the last one was like the first part of a 7-part
of
series.
Like a 5 more. Yeah, there's many more. I don't know when the next one doesn't come out in 25. I think that like at the fastest pace would be, well, maybe if it's every 2 years, maybe it's coming out. But I don't know. I like to, just let that one. I don't get. It'll come when it's ready. It will come to us when it's ready.
It will reveal itself.
It will reveal it when James Cameron is ready to bestow upon us the next Avatar. We will receive it.
I like that. So one of the things that has sustained me through this year, as you know, is the world of wrestling YouTube. There's a number of wrestling channels that I watch. Don't worry, I won't name them. But I just love the history of wrestling. And I would like now, as part of our grand finale, do you guys know who Bret the Hitman Hart was?
No.
Yeah, of course.
He was
Isn't he Canadian?
He was the champion.
No, he
Montreal
was.
Screwjob.
Yeah,
A hugely famous guy. His brother died tragically. So I was today's years old when the following ad was sent to me, like was served to me via YouTube, and I need you to watch it with me. It's only 30 seconds, okay? This is unbelievable that this existed, okay? Check it out.
Hi, folks. It's Bret the Hitman Hart, making all your wishes come true with Aladdin, the magical family musical. I am the genie of the lamp. You've never seen a genie like me before. Uh-oh, it's that evil magician Abanazir. Time for the sharpshooter. Here's my favorite part of the show, the big dance number. Don't miss Ross Petty's Aladdin. Cheer the hero and boo the villain. Reserve your magic carpet ride today.
There's a live wrestling show of Aladdin?
No, it's like a live Canadian Aladdin, I guess. But
like
I guess the
barely.
genie is a wrestler. That's from a long time ago.
Yeah.
But isn't that amazing?
Why is this being resurfaced right now? I have other things to do in my day.
I just wanted you to see that. It's just crazy.
Okay.
But tomorrow night, we're recording
Really
this.
takes advantage of this podcast recording.
Tomorrow
I
night.
have your attention.
Tomorrow night, we're going to see live AEW.
That I'm very excited for, and you're gonna mic
MJF
up
will
on
be
nephew
there in
and just
person.
record him the whole time.
Oh my God, he's so delicious, that kid.
He doesn't even know what wrestling is.
I can't wait to tell him. Can I show him it? When
He's
can
gonna
I
fall
show him what it is and then take him? He's
so
not going to fall
tired.
asleep. We're going to give him so much cotton
We're
candy.
gonna give him popcorn, cotton
Orange
candy,
Crush.
sips of Diet Coke.
Is he the only kid going?
Yes.
As of
Nope.
now, maybe one of mine will come, but I don't
No,
think so.
because all the other tickets are taken.
Either way, yes, we are taking this little man with us.
We might
It's
have
gonna
one
be
extra. 1, 2, 3. Vlad is 4. He's 5. We have one extra spot.
Okay. Your wife is not coming to this show?
She has been to
Opted
wrestling
out?
once. That was enough. All right. Well, this has been a wonderful, amazing year and another great year for our show. By the way, our Signal Award arrived in the mail, so that's exciting.
That is exciting.
So here's to another great year of Friday Night Movie. Our next episode, we will be recording in the island of Puerto Rico,
Cha-cha-cha.
which will be awesome.
Can't wait.
Maybe we'll do a video episode on the Bali beds.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see.
If anyone reserved them. If
anyone reserved them. Lily's anti-reserving the beds.
No, I'm not.
Lily's doing a whole.
Playing it fast
coup.
and loose with this
I'm-
vacation.
I am
Yeah.
not.
Lily's
It's gonna
like,
be a
I'm gonna not
4-star
reserve it
White
in the bed,
Lotus.
so everyone's forced
It's a
to go.
Lotus
Let's do on
situation.
TripAdvisor.
It's just a Lotus.
I don't know. I discovered that they have indoor video games, so I'll be doing that quite a bit this year in the air conditioning. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.